Hey, what is up, guys? No, you did not click on the wrong video. This is indeed the Theology, Geek fitness channel, which I'm honored to be part of. Something that a good friend of mine and colleague in the faith, Jonathan Pritchett, wanted to start, which is basically going to be some mixture of fitness and theology. And I just wanted to introduce myself to those not familiar with me to this channel, and even those who are familiar with me, just a little bit about my background in fitness and what I've done in the past, what I currently do, especially when you consider when you're young and single and no kids versus when you have a full-time job, family, and 2 kids. And then, of course, getting older in age, but nevertheless, not neglecting the fitness nor neglecting the theology, which are both very important aspects of our lives as believers. Now, the gym for me actually holds a very special place in my heart because that is actually the place where I met my wife. Long story short, I was wearing a hoodie that said I, and then it had a mustache and said Jesus, so it's essentially saying I mustache you about Jesus. And that was really cool because we'd get to know each other over gym dates and just work out together, sweat together, lift weights together, and it was a really cool bonding experience. But growing up, as I said, I've always been active. In fact, ever since I was young, I remember being in sports, and as I got older, in high school, for example, I was in football, which I mainly did, honestly, for the exercise. I wasn't too much of a fan of football, but I still appreciated the workouts that they made us do and the pressure that they put us through. Then I also got into wrestling, which I absolutely loved. For me, it's like playing chess with your body because there's a lot of strategy that goes into it. And also, I was a cheerleader. That is correct. I was a cheerleader in high school. The long story short to that is I was showing off some flips in front of some girls. I think it was my freshman year, and the cheer coach saw me and says, "Hey, we're trying to start a competition team and we need some guys to throw girls in the air." And I was like, "Nope, not going to do it. I'm in football, I'm in wrestling, not even going to cross my mind." And as she kind of told me some of the perks and benefits of doing this and that and the exercise aspect of it, I said, well, look, if you can convince my coach to let me come to a practice and possibly join, I'll at least come to a practice. And the next day she sees me in the hallway and says, guess what? Your coach thinks it's a good idea because it'll give you more opportunities to exercise and lift, even if you're just lifting girls. After the first practice, I loved it. It was great. It really was a great exercise, especially with the shoulders, with the lifting, and because of that, which is something I did just kind of for fun, I began to get better and better at what they call partner stunning, where you throw the girls in the air, and then you have one-man partner stunning to where you're holding up a girl by yourself. Now, aside from it just looking impressive, like I said, it was a great workout, and it ended up paying for the first 2 years of my college books and tuition. So I went to college on a full-ride scholarship to throw girls in the air. This also helped provide for me in terms of finances as I started to coach as well, being a cheerleader. Now, looking back at that, what I really love most about this is to just see how God always has a hand in planning all these things and how everything just kind of worked out at the end. Because when I met my wife, she had a 4-year-old daughter, and one of the things and ways that we quickly bonded was through cheerleading. I was actually the one to introduce her to cheerleading and flipping. I was coaching at the time at a small gym, and I told her, hey, why don't you just come check out a practice? I'll be coaching. You can you feel as comfortable as you want. And long story short, she now has gotten to a level 4 cheer team. Those who know about cheer know about just the different levels and aspects, and most of what she knows today with flying and tumbling, I can honestly say I taught her. So it was a great thing to just be able to bond with her in that way, in a unique way, especially her being 4 years old, meeting her for the first time, being able to bond not only with my wife, who I met at the gym, but now bond with my soon-to-be daughter at the time by cheering. So here I am exercising with both my future wife and future daughter through a means of exercise and fitness that I think was just fantastic. Now, I've always been one to like to just lift heavy. It's could be in the genetics or whatever, but I just like the idea of just kind of grabbing something and being able to throw it across the room or lift heavy things. The Hulk was always one of my favorite characters in the Marvel comic book series and universe. And so in high school, when I started lifting more seriously, I even did a little bit of powerlifting for about a year or two when they offered it, and just being able to be a certain size and lift 2 or 3 times your body weight squat. I think at my peak I was squatting somewhere around 520 pounds, maxing out at that in squats. And again, that a lot of that could be genetics, just having strong leg muscles and whatnot. But it was always very therapeutic for me because aside from the bonding aspect, another great thing about lifting was just I would be able to really dig into some good theology and philosophy, whether it be podcasts or audiobooks, because having ADHD, for those who don't know, it's really hard for me to sit down and just really focus and concentrate. My mind will begin to wander very quickly. But I notice with my ADHD and my symptoms, it helps for me to do something with my hands or with my body, because it kind of just frees my mind to not have to focus on wanting to fidget with something. So I found most of my most fruitful times in learning theology and philosophy and apologetics was while I was doing things like cutting the grass or lifting weights, something that I was using my hands to do things while my mind was able to just concentrate on the content. So the value for me in lifting, whether it be at a gym, at a home, using resistant bands, putting some weights together, grabbing the back of I think it was a trailer where a part broke off, and just lifting that, whatever you can get your hands on that's heavy and lifting at the right angle. There's a lot of benefit to that, not just physically, but I would also say even spiritually, when you're able to use that time to focus and concentrate on things that you've been wanting to do, read, or listen to. And I think there's a lot of benefit to that. So in this channel, I'd like to be able to share some things I've experienced, some things I've done, even with lifting heavy, whether it's lifting heavy weight but doing less reps, or less weight and doing more reps, whatever the case is, whatever your goal is. I hope you guys can use this channel as just a way to be able to, perhaps while you're working out, listen to some of this and even be able to benefit both physically and spiritually, and we can be better, as my now colleague Aaron said in his video, be both freaks and geeks at this. So I look forward to what we're going to put out on this channel. I look forward to sharing some of my stories, some of my workout routines, and or tips, even with regards to maximizing protein and calorie ratio, things like that, things that you might be interested in, while at the same time being able to glorify God in all that we do. So I hope to see you again real soon.